our family. Hey, it's been a while. But if you follow me on Instagram, you know where I've been. You know where I have been. How are you guys doing? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Joyce, that's Sneakiness Live. And for my work, that's hey, Nikki. Hey! Oh, yeah. We will get into her. Ciao. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm in a group chat and I don't know how to like mute the notifications. If you know, let me know. I just don't know how the hell can I mute this conversation? It seems like whenever I do a live, everybody's just like, let's just start. Let's just start sending Nikki messages. I don't know how to get them to shut up. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know in the comment section. Hey, Amira, how are you? Hey, she got 2 kids, D. I'm trying. I love y'all. I love y'all. How are we doing? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Irene. Hey, Cameron. Cameron said, just slide it to the right. That tap bell. I know that tap bell. I know that's right. Hey, I saw 2 from France. Hey, Johnny's acting channel said, hey, Nikki, can't wait to hear your take on that 3rd part of the reunion. Ciao. Hey, Tamiria. Thank you. Yes. Empress Energy for Life. What's up, UK? So, guys, what we're going to do in this live is I missed last week's episode, and I was actually crazy thing. I was going to do a live, but then I had to my rehearsal location changed, so I had to leave earlier than I intended to at the time that. So the time that I was going to leave the live, to do the live was actually when I had to leave for my rehearsal. So I was just like, ah. So what I'm going to do today is just talk a bit about the 2nd part, and then get into the 3rd part, and then we'll wrap it up because there's so much more that we have to talk about. I was just like, I can't do this all in one live. So I'm going to do a follow-up live. I'm also doing something about the Real Housewives of New York. We got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. And it's spooky season. It's spooky season. I actually wanted to talk to you guys about something else, but because of all of this Beverly Hills crap, I can't catch a break. Hey, Callie Steve. So Cal knew about the takedown from the start, but she didn't realize it would go too far, and Kathy knows this. I think so too. And I think, again, I lost my clicker. No, I found my clicker. I think because she's an older sister, she's able, not able, but because of where she is at, right? In the line of sisterhood, she is used to getting over things and moving forward. But this hurt her, and she knows that her sister is behind this. So she's, I feel like they'll get back, but I don't think they'll ever be what they were before this show. I don't think they'll ever be that again. Hit the wrong button. Listen, I hope I'm wrong. I hope they can get back to where they were before this show, but who knows? Anyway, thank you so much, Kylie Steve. Yes. Oh, yes. I have a fun treat for you guys for the Real Housewives of Potomac, but I won't let you know until tomorrow when I do it, because I'm going to do 2 lives. I want to do maybe just 1 live. I'll see. But I want to talk about Love is Blind because I'm finally getting into that. And then I want to talk about Potomac. Hey, Jimmy G. Jimmy G said Kyle was part of the planning of the attack on Kathy. Erica even said on camera that Kyle was happy that it was all coming out. She did. She really, really did. Since we just have so much to talk about, let's get right into it. So this is my takeaway from part 2, since I missed that with you guys. The ladies have no plan. The ladies have no plan. And if they did have a plan, it just doesn't make sense, right? Because Diana, who, can I be honest with you, I forgot about Diana and Cherie. So I don't know what's going to happen with them next season. I'm lying. I don't think they're coming back. I want to say it. God is working on me, but I don't think that they're coming back. Because they were just very forgettable. When we saw Diana, I was like, oh, yeah, you're a part of this show. And Cherie was never mentioned, so I don't believe that we will see them back next season. But so Diana is saying that Garcelle calling her evil is worse than, her calling Sutton a see you next Tuesday. And I'm sitting here like, how is that worse, right? And all the ladies are like, oh yeah, when she called her evil, that was just that crossed the line. And I'm sitting here like, none of y'all make any sense, right? Because if calling Diana evil is worse than calling Sutton a see you next Tuesday, why aren't y'all saying the word that's worse than evil? Right? So if that word, right, is worse than evil, why ain't you saying that word? Like they have no plan and they make no sense. I'm like, you guys are just defending Diana because she came out guns blazing because she was on your side. Like, I think that they think that we don't know that before the season even starts, y'all already get together with who you are going to be going after because you do it every season. I got to get out of this group chat. It's my show. Well, I'll just tell you, it's my show's group chat. And my team, we did a show yesterday, and like everybody is just being so kind and like really blowing the team up, and everybody just feels like, we're on a high right now. And for some reason, they decided to all start texting right now. So, hey, team, I'm on live. Chill out. Anyway, so Garcelle, right? I love Garcelle and Sutton's. I love Garcelle and Sutton's relationship. I will say this. I didn't like how Garcelle did not have her back when Andy asked her if Sutton makes things about her. And she said, oh, I'm going to be honest. She does. And this is the thing, Garcelle. I get it. Right? I get that that's your girlfriend. You guys are really good friends and you're honest about, each other, you're honest about what's going on in each other's lives and you have a really good relationship that you can do that. But in the face of thine enemies, have your girls back, right? I got on Sutton about that last season. I was just like, have Garcelle's back because she fights for you. And I'm like, Sutton, the only reason why Sutton was in the war this season that she was in with Lisa Rinna is because she defended Garcelle, right? And I'm not saying that they're beefing or whatever, that her and Garcelle are beefing and aren't in a good place. But Sutton's face when Garcelle was like, yeah, you do make things about you sometimes. And I'm just being honest. Great. Be honest. Not in front of my enemies. Because then the brides of Chucky, as soon as she said that, they were all like, ooh, because they were getting happy with the fact that you two would get into it and break up that alliance. I cannot do the thinking for the boomers on this show. I just feel like as older women, there's just certain common sense things I should not be telling you through this live, right? I just feel like you should know that at some point to have your allies back. Like I didn't understand that part. And I get that it was absolutely harmless, but I was like, Garcelle, not in front of them, because their reaction was like, oh, they're going to have a problem. They're going to have an issue. And I'm like, no, girl. Again, shout out to Philly Diva. She made it to Bravo again. Good for her. Again, like I said, I believe that Diana did not know what she was saying. That doesn't excuse her of any racism that she has done in the past. But I absolutely think that she copied that comment and just responded to Philly Diva that way. I do love how in part 2, Garcelle and Sutton were very clear on being done with Diana. And to that, for me, that meant that Diana was no longer on the show, right? Because Sutton and Garcelle would not engage with her. They would not engage with her. Every time Andy brought up something to Garcelle about to Garcelle about Diana, she's just like, I'm done talking about her. And Andy moved on. Then he would go to Sutton, and Sutton was just like, oh, it's very clear that we're not friends and our relationship is done, so I don't have anything more to say. There are 2 leads on this show. talking about somebody who is going to need to be in a space where she has to film with everyone. And if you have two leads, two Bravo darlings, let's be real, two fan favorites who don't want to engage or be in scenes with somebody else who was on the show, they're going to cut her before they cut them. So I knew exactly what that was. And I was so happy that our girls were finally working together to cut the dead weight. I don't know what else happened behind the scenes, but when Garcelle and Sutton refused to engage with Diana, to me, that was her pink slip. I guarantee you we won't see that brought back next season unless she got something on one of the big wigs at NBC. Garcelle should not have changed a damn thing in her book to appease Rinna's grown daughter. This is the thing. I don't know what's going on in the Bravo universe, but you are somebody's child always. You are no longer a kid if you are good in your 20s and sleeping with men in their 40s. Like, where is she a child? I thought that children were off limits. This is a grown woman who was speaking to her grown mother about another grown woman on the show, and that grown woman responded to the comment that both of those grown women made about them. And all of a sudden, when Garcelle writes about her experience, now she's talking about a child where when we met them, they weren't kids. They was good and grown and cussing out their mother. Remember in them flashbacks when they was calling Lisa all kinds of corny, and now they on TikTok talking about she's a terrible mother, these grown women. But I think that Garcelle is just too nice. I don't think she should have changed anything. The two sentences that she spoke about Olivia were in no way damaging. It was just her recounting what happened on the show. But Rinna wanted to make it an issue. Let's talk about the book and how Andy completely overlooked and missed that moment. When they were speaking about Jax in the beginning concerning the bots, and I think that at this point, Garcelle knows who it is. I don't know if she's waiting to start filming to reveal and maybe to find out if Diana is going to be on the show or not. But I think at this point, it's very obvious that the person was Diana. And that is why Diana started crying, because I think she knew that at some point it was going to be led back to her. So she was trying to play victim and say that nobody would ever in this group would ever hurt your son. But I think it's just very apparent. Y'all got to shut up. Y'all have got to shut. How do I turn that off? Hold on. And I think it was just very apparent that Diana knew that it was in some way going to get back to her. So that's what that whole crying and victim performance was about, in my opinion. Child, being in a group chat with actors. Can I be on D&D? Can I be on D&D? Will that stop? I'm on silent mode. Why am I still getting sounds? Is it text? Maybe that's it. Oh, I think I got it. We'll see. Anyway, they had moved on very quickly from that, from Garcelle speaking about the bots concerning the racism and the racist things that were said to her son, her 14-year-old son, an actual child on this show that was affected by something that these grown women did. Excuse me. Andy, and he later apologized, but I know about it. I didn't read the article yet, and that's something we will get into later. But they moved on very quickly from that, and you can see that Garcelle was near tears, and they were over here laughing because it was actually Rinna who threw out the book, and Erica just reposted it, and that was finally revealed, and everybody stayed on the book. And does Erica recycle? Does Rinna recycle or not? And they moved on really fast from the fact that a Black woman's child on black child on this show was harassed by not only the viewers, but also by somebody who was in this cast, and some very foul things were said to that child, and probably conversations that Garcelle never had with him. It didn't work. Never had with him. she had to have at that point. Oh well, sorry guys, we're just gonna have to ignore it. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let me get the super chat. This group chat then threw me completely off. She got two kids. D, what's up? Said, am I dumb or does Erica have to be the person selling stories if she's the only one that Kathy Lee supposedly said the slur to? If that was a story that came out, then who else could it have been? Absolutely agree. I was going to get to that later, but we can talk about that now. Thank you so much. She got two kids. D. Erica, in my opinion, sold that story to the press, because she confirmed that Kathy said it to her, right? But she was the only one that heard it. So unless somebody in her camp, which is always an easy thing to, give responsibility over to that, unless somebody in her camp said it, or she, has a direct link to the press, or if she gave that to her publicist. This is the thing, right? Kathy was just like, their share of publicists would never do something like that. And I'm just like, y'all think that publicists are your friends. Publicists are employees who do stuff that you won't or can't do or will not do, right? Publicists are cutthroat. We just have to be honest. Anybody who's getting a publicist, and not all, I will say this, not all publicists are cutthroat. But if you are working in entertainment and you are somebody who wants to be known and you want to be known quickly, because a lot of times people who are, and this is no shade, but people who lack talent have to go the cutthroat publicist route, because you need to get in front of those talented people who are building momentum. Why? Because even if you have something interesting going on, even if you're rich or whatever, a lot of people like you because you have money, talent will always beat you to the finish line. So you have to get somebody who is willing to do what they need to do to make sure that the world knows about you. So to say that the publicist would never release something like that, that does not favor one of their clients, I can't necessarily say that, because what kind of publicist do you have? Where is the publicist's loyalty? You don't really know that, because when you're talking to the publicist, they're loyal to you, but you are not their only client. And if they're going to, put something out there that's going to get your name circulating in the press, whether you think it's good press or bad press, that doesn't matter to the publicist. They have done their job because people are talking about you. So it's very obvious that Kathy saying the slur came, from Erica, and she confirmed it herself. And that's the thing. She's sitting up here trying to clear Kathy when she ended up clearing herself, right? I'm using clear in a Black LGBTQ way. So I think that she tried to get her, but she got in the end. And I don't think she realized that, because she was so laser focused on exposing Kathy for this slur that she said, and thinking that was going to be the gotcha moment. But the gotcha moment was her admitting that she was basically the one that sold that to the press. If you're the only one that heard it, then who gave it over to TMZ? So you're letting everybody in this group know that you got a direct line to TMZ. So they all need to walk lightly when talking with you outside of the cameras. So yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. She got two kids. D. The last thing we're going to talk about in the second part of the reunion was Kyle denying the fact that she basically beat up Sutton. Like, I could not believe that Kyle was acting like that wasn't a big deal. I'm like, you were drunk and Sutton was telling you that she had a miscarriage and you were acting like it wasn't a big deal and beating up on her to defend Diana. But Kyle just always brushes over everything, like she brushed over everything in the third part of the reunion, brushing over the fact that you and your husband, Dorit and PK, were laughing at the fact that Erica cussed out Garcelle's son. Oh, but I'm a mother too. I would never do anything like that. But you did it. You thought it was funny. And then the excuse of I didn't see it, you still laughed when you heard about it. So it was funny that Erica said something verbally abusive to a child. And because it wasn't your child, or because it was a kind of child that you don't really value, or within your community values, it was funny to you, because I highly doubt that you would have laughed if Erica would have cussed out one of Dorit's children, right? If it, especially, I know she wouldn't have laughed if it was her child, but if it was Dorit, if it was Rena, it would not have been funny. But it was funny because it was Garcelle, because it was Garcelle's child. And you have to ask why, right? We all know that answer. But Cal would be like, oh no, I would never. I'm a mother. Okay, but how do you feel about that child? Right? Like, let's be real. Even if it's not your child, how do you feel about that specific child? And why was it so funny to you and not concerning as a mother? Is it because you can't see yourself mothering a child like that? Like, let's be real. And that's what Garcelle was upset about, because she knew what it was, but she can't say what it is because of the platform that she's on. And that is what so many Black people and people of color have to endure in the workplace. A lot of people were watching, a lot of Black women were watching Garcelle at this reunion and being like, I know exactly what that is and how that feels. And that's why a lot of us do not want to go back in the workforce. Like, working from home is fine. We don't want to be in those microaggressive environments anymore. I'm doing my job and I'm doing it exceptionally well because I am not in a place where I am being demeaned daily because I am different. And my difference is hated. Not because there's something wrong with me, not because there's something, because it's something that I did, because the people who like to keep me in this position do not want to see me outside of my chains. Right? And I'm speaking, metaphorically, right? Because that's the thing. We're oppressed for a reason. And it's not a bad reason. It's an entire intimidation factor. But that's something else that we will get into on another live. Anyway, let's move on to, oh wait, did we talk about? Did I talk about that? I think I talked about that in one. I talked about that in one. Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Crystal. What I liked that Crystal did in episode in the reunion part 2 was that I liked the fact that she finally stood up to Cal. This is the thing. Everybody was going up for Crystal, and I was going up for her in that moment because I thought that she did a really good job. She was holding her own. She was finally making sense, and I was starting to understand her. My only thing is, Crystal does all of this, and then immediately when they start filming again, wants to be in this clique, right? And she also, there's two things that Crystal does. She stands up for herself at the reunion. She takes a stand. Then they start filming, and all of a sudden she's buddies with these ladies again, even though they mistreat her. The second thing that she does is and we have to be honest, there is a slight disdain that Crystal has for Garcelle. And the disdain is that Garcelle is invited to things that she is not, right? And I'm not saying that she's not invited to everything. I'm speaking metaphorically again. Like, Garcelle can sit at the table and the ladies won't pick at her anymore, right? Crystal gets upset that Garcelle has a kind of protection that she doesn't have. So instead of saying, why are you treating myself like this? Why are you treating Garcelle like this? Why are you doing that to us? Like, this is unfair. Crystal will say, why can she say it and I can't? And I'm telling you, I'm just being very honest. This is what it's like in the people of color community, right? That's why Black people don't rock with that POC mess, because instead of looking and saying, why are you treating us like this? You're mad that this Black woman is getting preferential treatment, right? Because you think that you should be getting treated that way. So they don't shut her down. When Garcelle wants to leave, and when she's done talking and she wants to get up and leave, everybody begs for her to stay. But when you do all of that talking and they cuss you out and shut you down, and you say that you want to leave, they go, okay, we'll go on without you, because Crystal feels that she's replaceable. Garcelle is not. And instead of looking into why that is, right, she then goes after Garcelle. And I don't like that. I wish that she would get it together, but I'm telling you, this show has been, especially since Bravo started putting people of color and Black people on these shows that normally had a white cast. This is like a magnifying glass on race in America. Like, this is like what this show just represents so much. And I think that's why it got really uncomfortable for a lot of us watching, because we watch reality TV to escape from a lot of this stuff. But so many things has become front and center on this show because these ladies were never in a place to handle, these kind of conversations. And the cast was an all white cast for a reason. Bravo, because of everything that happened in 2020 and, Black Lives Matter and everybody finally seeing what Black people go through on a daily basis with the murder of George Floyd on camera. Everybody was finally home and everybody could pay attention and everybody started to do something collectively, right? And because the people were united, then it was just like companies and TV shows and studios and all of the world realized that they had to do some kind of change. And that's where we're getting all of this diversity out of nowhere on these shows. But it's just like you can do the slightest change right in your environment or within your cast. But if you have not done the work to welcome that person in properly, you'll continue to get this. And I'm not saying that I want, the diversity to leave the show. I'm just saying if we're not going to have those conversations, then y'all need to do some work off camera and make sure when y'all all come together, y'all are entertaining us, not annoying the hell out of us and vexing our spirits. But that's my thing with Crystal. We'll get into it because I know people love Crystal, and y'all might disagree, but I'm telling you, I see it every time. I see it every time. She has a big, wide her and not me spirit, and I can't take it. I can't take it because she feels like she should be getting the treatment that Black girl is getting, and nobody will admit it, but we see it. We see it. Anyway, let's get on to reunion part 3 and how Kathy had the girls shook. Like, even at the end of part 2, they were all like, all right. I'm like, why does this woman, this tiny little Barbie in a box, have y'all so shook? I'm telling you, even with money, ain't nobody shaking me at my big age, but they were all like shook because Kathy was coming, especially Kyle. And we will find out why later in the episode. I did love this about Garcelle, right? Again, I love everything that Garcelle does, but I also have to look at her performance through an unfamiliar lens, right? Because although we are both Black women, we have two totally different experiences. And that's the thing. Black people are not a monolith, right? But when we as Black people watch TV shows, when it's one of us, it's all of us. That's just how it's always been because we have just been kept out of so many spaces. So when you watch it, you want her to, or at least for me, I want her to react to things the way that I feel is necessary, which basically is how I would do something, right? So I've come to learn that she's a different being and I can accept her in that. I totally did not expect her to stay on the lady's neck that as she did with Jax. I love how she was getting Dorit together. She was like, what was wrong with you, Dorit? And Dorit was like, I loved it. I just loved how she stayed on their necks and she went into full mama bear mode and I was with it. I was with it because she was with it. I don't think we'll get that out of her anymore because I feel like the ladies are going to stay off of, stay away from her kids because they know that that's a subject that will get her activated. You know what I mean? For Garcelle, her children are, the Harry Hamlin. You know what I mean? That's the one where you don't say anything about my husband and you don't say anything about my kids. So I feel like the ladies are going to leave that alone because that's when she kicks into gear. But I did love how she did not let that go. And she, even when Andy was just like, so where are we at? She was just like, listen, in this group, when somebody does something wrong, they apologize and they just move on. And she's just like, so I have to accept it. But we all know what that meant, right? She was just like, I have to take it. I've accepted it and we can move on. But it was, for me, it was in the way that she said it. She knows that the apologies were basura. She knows that the apologies only came because of how the fan base reacted to it. But because of who she is, because she's going to remain in this environment. Like she said at BravoCon, I know that there's people who want me to leave, but I can't do that. I can't give them that. So she has a mission, right? She has a goal. She's going to stay in this environment and she is going to move on, because this is Garcelle, in my opinion, is working this show differently than when she came in. I think at first she was honored to be, the first Black woman on this show and was looking at it with a much bigger lens. Then she got into this environment and realized that as an accredited actress, that she was stepping into some mess. So I feel like she's finally realized how to work this. And now she's fully showing up for work, not as a fan, not as somebody who did not understand her environment, but now she's stepping in as a pro. And I applaud her for her performance this season. And I know she's only going to get better. Erica, defending herself from being perceived as insensitive when Bravo showed the clips of her saying she doesn't give a F about anybody. She just cares about herself when speaking about the victims of Tom. I get it. Like, I feel like we all get it. I just think that we were just expecting some empathy or sympathy from her, and it's just not going to happen. That's why I'm like, just leave the woman alone, because she's always going to look terrible because she doesn't have any remorse. She does not care. She just wants to maintain her lifestyle. And to be honest with you, that was the game for her from jump. That's what she got with that old man. She even said it. I love him because he took care of me and my son. Like, that's the game for her. Like, Tom was a long trick, a long con that paid her handsomely. Now she's losing that money, and that's what she's chasing. She can't care about victims. She can't care about how, people feel and, people's hearts and all of that. She can't get into those emotional things, right? When a woman shuts off her emotions or common sense to chase the bag, you can't expect her to check back into that while she's still currently chasing the bag. You know what I mean? Like, there are millions, but I'm not even talking about sex workers, right? Millions, billions of women who lay down with gross, hideous, terrible, demonic men for a check. She can't tap into her humanity while she's getting her back blown out by Gollum. That will break her. She got to shut that off so that she can get to work, so that she can get them coins. Because if she checks in, it'll wreck her. She can't check in. And I feel like in this part of the reunion, I finally got where this woman was coming from. Because we're all like, oh my God, he's terrible. Why are you still taking his calls? Oh my God, this is so wrong. Oh my God, this is so evil. You don't feel bad for the victims. But I had to think about it. I was like, she's still on her hoe. She can't hear. She can't see. Once she gets in a place where she's financially secure again, maybe she'll be able to, check back in to that 19-year-old waitress that she was before she started hoeing. She can't hear right now. She is full on in her hoe state. So she can't, y'all trying to get her to understand. And she's like, I got to pay for all of this stuff. This Bravo check ain't cutting it because I have been accustomed to a certain life and I got to do what I got to do to get that coin. The best example I could give you is, what's her name? I done forgot her name. Melania Trump, right? People were just like, oh my gosh, like, girl, how could you be married to him? I'm just like, she was just listen, I'm sorry. Sometimes I say stuff and then I hear myself and I'm like, Nikki, but she was a hoe. When he met her, she was hoeing, right? So she was still hoeing as the first lady because hoeing got her into this position. Now, when that man finally died and she's raising this kid that look and act just like him, then she can probably tap into her womanhood, her humanity. But right now she's on a hoe. It's the same thing that people do when they go to work. You know, you are yourself. You are full of humanity, love, and joy. But when you get to that job that you hate, you clock in. You clock into that representative, whoever it is, the one that laughs at Tom's terrible jokes. Tom, I love you. And then he leaves, you die a little bit. But that's you clocking in so that you can get that bi-weekly check. But when you leave, you become yourself again. But while you're at that job, you're that representative. You hoeing too. We all hoe in different ways. So I was finally able to get it because I'm just like, she just seems so demonically evil. Like they're over here saying, Erica, this wasn't right. You did what you were saying when we're telling you to feel something for the victims. You respond with, I don't give a F about nobody but myself. You seem evil. And then it hit me. I'm like, she's still hoeing, y'all. She got to get this money. All these men that she's talking about that she's having sex with, and she just, I'm just getting some jack. I'm just getting some. She hoeing, y'all. She's back to hoeing. It makes sense. It makes sense. Erica is back to full blown hoeing. That's what she's not comfortable anymore. So this is what it's like when she's uncomfortable. She's getting back to the basics that got her this lifestyle in the beginning. Now I can understand her a bit better. I will say, when talking about protecting yourself and writing for yourself, I get where she was trying to go. I just felt like she lost everybody when she used the plane crash analogy. I was like, of all examples, of all the analogies that you can use to defend yourself, why use a plane crashing? Oh, yeah, when a plane is crashing, you're supposed to put the oxygen mask on yourself, right? Girl, you could have said anything else. She is out of her whole mind. Out of it. Anyway, let me get this super chat from Make It Make Sense. What's up? Said you wrong, Nikki. She can't heal for legal reasons. Oh, she's hoeing. She is hoeing. I'm telling you, she's hoeing. Thank you, Make It Make Sense. She is absolutely hoeing. Here's how I know. Because the way she kept on talking about all the men that she's having sex with, and I'm like, why are you telling us that? Like, it doesn't, you keep on saying it. And I'm like, I get bragging, but I just don't feel like you're bragging. And then it hit me. She's advertising. Mama is advertising. Every time she talks about all the men that she is having sex with, she is letting you know, open for business. Whole state. She's in her whole mind. That's what it is. I'm telling you. Now that I've said this, you will be able to watch her differently on these shows. You will be able to watch her differently. She hoeing. She hoeing. We've all hoed. We've all hoed. Not to that extent, though. You know what I mean? I was hoeing at Macy's. I hated that job. But I wanted a car. So I showed up and I clocked in even on Black Friday. And as soon as I got my car, hoeing was over. But I clocked in. And I did what I needed to do to get my car. Thank you, Macy's. I love shopping there, though. I absolutely hated working there. Absolutely. Let's talk about Andy. When he said that Erica's empathy wasn't landing, she's like, I tried. He was like, yeah, but it's not landing. He is so messy. So messy. Kathy, let's get just running to Kathy. Kathy finally shows up. And again, we have to stop acting like, I'm talking about the cast. The whole, oh, you walk through the airport in your slippers. Like, how long are we going to keep this act up that Kathy isn't flying private? Like, y'all acting like Kathy is on Southwest. You know what I mean? Y'all acting like she walking through the Atlanta airport to get on her commercial flight. Kathy is flying private. Of course she's wearing slippers at the airport because it's an airport we have never seen. It's probably an airport that's in the back of her own mansion, her estate. Like, let's stop this. I'm like, we're going to go with this joke that Kathy is kooky and just like all of us because she wears slippers to the airport. No, she's at the Burbank private jet airport in her slippers. She's getting out of her Porsche and getting right into her private jet. Let's stop these games. Let's stop it. Like, because if this was the case, there would have been so many pictures of Kathy in her pajamas at an airport. They have been talking about this all season, how kooky she is and how she wears slippers to the airport. There have been no fan footage of this, not even a TMZ pic of her in a robe and slippers at an airport. Why? Because the airport she go to, you can't get in. Stop playing. Stop playing. She's not kooky. She's wealthy. They wear slippers to their airports. Child, I don't know why that pissed me off so much. Listen. Speaking to Kathy and her money, she was pissed at the DJ because obviously the DJ didn't know who she was or he didn't give a damn about who she was or her money. She was mad at that DJ because her money could not get her what she wanted. I absolutely believe that DJ said when that elderly woman walked up to him while he was probably playing some Little Nas X or some Doja Cat and asked him to play some Michael Jackson. I'm sorry. No, that's not happening. Nobody's playing Michael Jackson unless it's at somebody's wedding, bar mitzvah, or if it's at a special night. You know what I mean? A throwback night. That's just not happening. He's the king of pop, absolutely. But like, we got to be real. In 2022, his music is classics. It's classics. And the DJ was not going to play that. And she felt some sort of way about that. I absolutely believe that she was a little angry. I absolutely believe that she was a little inebriated. And Kathy, I got to be honest with you. Your reaction to Erica saying that you called that DJ a slur, I was ready to say that Erica was a liar. And then I saw that scene and I was like, oh, Kathy, you said it. Let's be real, mama. We love you, right? We hate them more, but you said it. You said it. Kathy was like, you're a liar. I have more credibility than you. You probably do. But your reaction, you said it. Kathy, you said it. I was so ready to defend her, but her reaction to that, I'm like, if somebody says that I said a homophobic slur, my reaction is not going to be, I don't speak like that. I'm going to be like, be who, me? Absolutely not. Let's roll the tapes. Who's like, I just feel like for something so awful like that, anybody would have a different reaction. She don't got to react like she a black woman from Philadelphia, but I just feel like it would have been more of a shock. Like, what? No, something, but me? I don't know, Kathy. The reaction sold it for me. And I will give it to Erica. Erica was like, I'm not a liar. And she stayed in it. She stayed in it. She might be a hoe, but I don't think she's a liar. I think she will say what she needs to do to protect herself. But the way she said it and Kathy's reaction, I was just like, yeah, Kathy, I think she got you there. But you know who also says homophobic slurs? Erica. Because if you're not, if homophobic or racist or ignorant things don't fall out of your mouth so easily, I felt like she would have said the F word, right? Like, how are you so comfortable saying that word to express what Kathy said? Like, you could have said the F word. We all would have got it. I think the reason why you chose to just say the word and not the F word is because it's something that you actually say. It's a word that's comfortable coming out of your mouth and it's in your vocabulary. Especially because Erica thinks that she's just so cool with the gays. right? And I feel like she has enough gay men in her life that she pays that they will probably allow her to say certain things to stay in the limelight or to keep whatever check that she's giving them. So y'all both, again, Erica twice has tried to get Kathy, and you get yourself because you tried first with the, oh, I was the only one that heard Kathy say it. So you had to be the only one then to give that information over to TMZ. But then you so clearly and easily said the word that she said that you as a straight woman have no business being around or even just comfortable verbalizing to let us know what was said. That lets me know that that's something that you say a lot. Like, absolutely not. I was just like, so you're comfortable with saying that too? To expose Kathy? Again, trying to expose Kathy, exposing your damn self. But yeah, Kathy, you said it. I was like, oh, yeah, girl, that's not a normal reaction to somebody saying that you said something so awful. That's not a normal reaction. Now, I believe Erica, don't believe Lisa. Because even during the season, the Kathy story changed so much. Now it went from Kathy was yelling about taking down Bravo and NBC and Kyle and her entire family to now she was abusing and yelling at Lisa. Why every time you tell this story, there's something new added to it? You keep on adding to it because I think you're forgetting what you said in the beginning. I don't believe it. I believe that Kathy was on some kind of like rage, right? I think that she was upset because the DJ humbled her. She was upset because her sister keeps on letting these women mistreat her and not riding for her. And she's probably upset because she's feeling like a dumb big sister because Kim told her everything that Cal did. And she probably was being a big sister and being neutral and trying to get them to talk and understanding this person and understanding that person and being like, well, Kim, Cal loves you. She really wouldn't. And it's the cameras and making all kinds of excuses. Then you get to this show and you see how Cal treats you and you realize that Kim was right. So I felt like she was going through a lot, right? And she said a lot. And she said a lot to Lisa Rinna. I just don't believe that she said what Lisa is saying that she said. I just don't. Because the story is never straight. It's never a straight story. The only thing that I can agree on is that Kathy was upset and said some things that she should not have. That's it. I don't believe that it's what Lisa said it was. I just don't. I don't. I also, and I think Kathy believes this too, absolutely believe that Kathy was supposed to be taken down. Kathy was supposed to get embarrassed on this show. And Kyle was absolutely behind it. I think what happened was that Kyle's minions got a little too crafty with the storyline and went too far. I think that's why Kyle is not checking Lisa and Erica, because if she checks them, then she is going to be exposed. That's why she's sitting there quiet when they dragging her sister. That's why she's sitting there quiet when Lisa says, I saw the devil. Again, not my culture. And I have a great relationship with my sisters, right? So I look at this absolutely differently. I am absolutely giving space to people who have terrible relationships with their siblings to speak on this as well. But I can't. I just don't understand how you sit there silent while this woman says, what one of your good Judys says that your sister said a homophobic slur. Something at this time that could really damage everybody money in the family, right? Everybody's image in a family. While another one says that your sister is the devil, that your sister was going off so bad, she saw the devil and she was afraid for her life because this woman was abusing her. How do you sit there in silence? How do you not say anything? So I get Kathy being upset because this has been Kyle the whole season. I also get Kathy being upset at Kyle. Kyle's like, oh, you're mad at me about that down? Because Kathy said, I wanted to make Kyle happy. And how I wanted to make her happy was I decided that I was going to apologize to her on camera. So I went over and apologized to her on camera. After Kathy gives Kyle the apology, Kyle throws this on her. Lisa is on her way on camera. So Kathy felt set up. She felt, and she was, because guys, they have to set this scene up, right? To set the scene up, to have the camera crew, hair, makeup, sound people, every crafty, to have all of those people there, you have to have them there because there's going to be a scene. And the only way you get the scene is when the actors, let's be real, the actors agree to come and film at a certain time. And that is because a story producer has put that storyline or scene together. So Kathy knew that she was coming. Kyle knew that Kathy was coming, and Kyle knew what Kathy was coming to do. Because when Kathy walked in, she got right to it, right? Because she already apologized to her sister off camera, but she wanted to make her happy because Kyle obviously said, I want you to do this on camera as well because of how you have treated me. Understandable. Or how she's told people that she has treated her. Understandable. So Kathy comes to give the apology, and then her sister says, the one that has been lying about you, the one that said that you said all of this stuff, it's coming over so that you can get things right with her. How the hell you don't tell your sister that? Because you knew if you told her that, she would not have come and gave you the apology on camera. Like, how are you not understanding that your sister is mad at you about that? Because Kathy was on camera and she had to agree to it. But if she was not on camera, she would not have agreed to meet with Erica. To meet with Rena. Like, why would you do that? And then you sit there and act innocent. Well, no, she was saying these things about you, so I wanted you to clear that up. Tell your sister what's going on. Tell her. So then she can prepare the scene properly. Lisa knew. You told Lisa. So Lisa was locked and loaded when she walked in. She knew what she was walking into. You didn't tell your blood sister what she was walking into, and you don't understand why she's upset with you? God, you're allowing the wrong people to make money. You're allowing the wrong people to make money. Anyway, let's move on. Garcelle, the voice of reason this episode, she kept on saying to Erica and Rena, especially Rena, if these two sisters have a problem and they need to work it out, why do you keep on involving yourself? This is the reason why Kyle did not acknowledge Garcelle saying that or did not get Rena or Erica together, because in my opinion, I believe that she set her sister up. And she doesn't want that to get out. So she can't cuss them out and she can't get them together. But Dorit was not a part of it. So she can cuss Dorit out. She can say to Dorit, can you please stay out of this? I want to fix this with my sister. But she dared not say it to Erica and Rena, because that Rena, this is the thing. A lot of people don't want to see Rena next season. I want to see Rena next season if she's activated to tell the truth of what happened with this Kathy takedown. Even if she comes on for one scene, I just need her to come, burn it all down, and leave. Because it does not make any sense, Kyle, that you were able to cuss out Dorit and tell her to stay out of your sister's issues, but not Rena or Erica. The girls who just dropped the biggest bomb about your sister. You said nothing to them, but you got Dorit together. It's weird. It's very, very, very weird. So anyway, after Kathy gets Rena and Erica together, she leaves early, and then Andy is like, let's do a toast, right? But Kyle can't do the toast because she's, upset that Kathy said, one, you make everything about you. She was just like, you're over here playing like you're some martyr, like you're stuck in between me and your friends. I absolutely got what she meant, because I don't understand with your sister or with your sibling how you're stuck in the middle with your coworkers. Like, how in the hell are you over here like, well, I feel stuck in the middle because I don't want them upset with me, and I don't want them upset with me, and I don't want my sister upset with me. When it's your sister, there is no middle. Like, you stand with your sister. You're stuck in the middle between your sister and your coworkers. You're stuck because you can't say anything. You're stuck because you can't defend your sister because them nasty mean co-workers that you have, when you activate them, they will take you down. So you can't say nothing to Erica and Renna because they'll start telling the truth to protect their own behinds. And I think that's probably what's happening right now because Renna looked at Erica. She was like, we're going to get blamed for this. And I don't think that Renna is going to allow her ship to sink with her last check and not tell us what really happened. Anyway, so after that, Kathy is just like, we're good. And Kyle's like, are you mad at me? She's just like, because you ain't say nothing. You were quiet the whole time. And Kyle's like, how is this my fault? How is this my fault? It is your fault. Like, that's the thing. You created all of this. You created all of this. And I think that Kathy had to go through it. I guarantee you she's in a separate group chat with Kim, and her and Kim are talking and comparing notes. And Kim is like, I told you. And Kathy's like, you did tell me, and I'm sorry. I think that, Kathy, being the big sister that she is, she's going to try to get it right with her sister. But I don't think their relationship will be the same for a while, especially now that Kathy's daughters have tapped in, especially Paris. Okay. Not Nikki, because she's a Rothschild. She ain't getting in that mess. But Paris is like in every and anything. Even Andy brought it up. Paris is like in every and anything that is dragging her aunt, because that's how it is. Kathy was just like, they love me and they are very protective over their mother. And Kyle is falling apart because, let's be real, you want the Hilton'S at your daughter's wedding. And they know that. They know that. But I think that they'll get it right. And I think it'll be because of Kathy. But I just feel like Kathy just sees Kyle in a totally different light. And I don't think she went on the show thinking about Kyle that way. But I think now she absolutely understands what Kim was saying to her and what Kim's daughters were saying to their aunt. And I think that family is going to have a weird little separation for a minute that probably won't be fixed until Kyle gets off of this show. And Kyle, it'll be in your best interest to work with your family. Fix the issues that you have with your family. Let Renna say whatever she's going to say, right? The only thing you could do is say that she's a liar. Even if she produces receipts, say that she's a liar and protect your sisters. Everybody gonna rock with you. Ain't nobody gonna rock with Renna. It could all be so simple, but you rather make it hard. That's all I want to talk about. What do you guys think? We got another super chat. Oh, wait, we got a few, right? They have not been showing me. Hey, Asatu. I did. Where were you? I talked about that. I did. Thank you so much for the super chat. Did you clock in late? Or maybe this is an earlier comment. Maybe. Let me know. Let me know if you still think I didn't talk about it. I'll reiterate what I said. But thank you so much, Asatu. Thank you so much. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you for the super chat. Charlotte said, I finally caught alive. As always, you're 1,000% right. I believe Erica, unfortunately. Yeah. But not Renna's story. Saying she saw the devil and using the word abusive so much. I can't. Keep shining, Nikki. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Yeah, I was ready to say that Erica was a liar. And then Kathy's reaction, I was like, ooh, Kathy. She got you, girl. She got you. All right, guys, I want to get some older comments. And then we're going to chit and chat about what you guys thought for a minute. And then we'll get out of here. Megan is saying this in regards to me saying, I wish that Garcelle would not have said in front of the ladies, in front of the brides of Chucky, that Sutton does make things about herself because of how the brides of Chucky reacted to Garcelle saying that, making or hoping and assuming that there's probably a split in that friendship or alliance. And Megan said, I'm 50-50 on this because Sutton didn't say much about Garcelle to defend her. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I felt that way about Sutton last season. I did. I think she clocked in this season to defend Garcelle. And again, I reiterate, the only reason that Sutton had a beef with Renna was because she was defending Garcelle. That is where their beef was from jump. Thank you, Megan. Jimmy G said, remember when Brandy called Kyle a see you next Tuesday at the reunion a few years ago? Everyone was disgusted. Yeah, because it was coming from Brandy, who rumors are saying that she's coming back. I'm here for it, but I need to know what team she's going to be on. Asatu said, "Let me call all of them and see you next Tuesday since they think it wasn't that big of a deal." Yeah, they just again evil doesn't get bleeped out. They just were doing the most because of who it was. That's what it was. They were just trying, but like they all link up together. They were trying to defend that horrible that horrible treatment that Sutton received from Diana. Aya said, "Is it bad of me? But whenever I have a hair of compassion for Kyle, I remember how she treated Sutton and Garcelle, and that I'm okay with her tears. She can't cry enough for me. There, I said it." I think that Kyle really turned off a lot of people this season. And I honestly think the tides really turned for Kyle because there's always been people who are just like, Kyle is, the show can do better. Without her, there have always been people who did not want her on the show, right? I personally thought that she was a really great ghost producer, but the laughing and thinking it was so funny, her, Maurizio, and Dorit and PK, about Jax being attacked by Erica, that to me, I was like, oh, girl, I don't think you can bounce back from that. And she didn't. She didn't. JG said, Dorit looking at them answers before she answered. Oh, she did? Oh, you were talking about looking at her other cast members. I was like, oh, she had Andy's cards. Jimmy G also said, justice for Garcelle. I felt so bad for her as they started talking about flicking the recycling, and Andy's apology was weak. Yeah. Like, I'm like, how do y'all not see this woman near tears? Near tears. Y'all just move on to recycling a book after she talks about how her son was tormented by those racist bots that Diana bought. She deserved more time. Hey, Audrey. Audrey said, I really wish G had common sense to answer in another way. The others are way worse than Sutton. Yeah, I honestly think it was in the way that she said it, because Garcelle is just a good person and she was just being honest. And I think she felt like that was the right thing to do. But I'm just like, you can never let these women see your cards. You can't. You got to stand with Sutton, and Sutton has to stand with you. Then when y'all, having girl chat in one of your living rooms, and you could be like, sis, you do make stuff about you sometimes. Let's work on that for next season. You know what I mean? But I think Garcelle's just a good person. She's just a really good person. Hey, Sandy. Sandy said, like my mother used to say, not in front of company. Yes, that's what Garcelle needs to learn. You're right about that, Asatu. At least we didn't see that, Sutton. Asatu said Sutton did not say a thing to defend Jax, and I am salty about it. At least it wasn't filmed. Or if it was, we didn't see it on the show. Or her social medias, right? I think she posted something on her story. But yeah, I felt like she could have did more. George said, I thought Bravo didn't like housewives suing each other. They gave Candace grief, but Rinna was able to get to the reunion without being pulled up for that. Well, Beverly Hills always gets special treatment. And I think it's just because money. I think it's just because out of, everybody, Beverly Hills just has more money. Well, not more than Dubai, but Beverly Hills has money. Beverly Hills has connections. Like the relationships go deep on that show, and they're just always going to get preferential treatment. Always. Always, always, always. NC said, 100% agree with you, Garcelle and Sutton. I hate that G gave the Fox 4 that, but this was after her book in the trash segment. I honestly think G wasn't thinking and was just checked out after that. Probably. I just turned down my volume on my phone. On my in settings, I just turned down the volume. That's what it is. I'm sorry, yeah, we were just excited. They're just excited about our show. But thank you, Megan. Thank you. Let me. Simply Simone said, talking about Andy, he only apologized because people are loud enough calling him out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody was calling Andy out. So he absolutely had to say something. He's a public figure and he wants to remain that. So if you want to, get the public praise, you got to get the public chastisement as well. Virgo said, that's why I don't be in group chats. No, 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 no. It's a lot easier for me because I don't do emails. I just, I don't. So there it is. There I said it. I prefer group chats. Hey, Shonda. Shonda said, oh, you guys are all helping me. Thank you. Aye said, sorry, but I struggle with G. She really wants to be accepted by those ladies, so she tries to play fair at times. But I feel sometimes she needs to take it to hell with them. Just one good time. I used to think that about her. I really, really did. A lot of what she did this season, a lot of her Watch What Happens lives, and a lot of what I saw from BravoCon absolutely changed my opinion on her. I think Garcelle has finally clocked in. I think everything is very calculated for her in a good way. She knows what she's doing, and she knows that as a Black woman on TV, she can only react a certain way. That is just a reality that we all live in, because Beverly Hills, let's be honest, has a huge white fan base as well. And to not be perceived as the angry Black woman, she has to, we all know, you got to walk a fine line, even if you're loved, right? Even if you're loved, one mistake, one slip up, you're done. So I think she knows what she's doing, and I fully support her. I fully support her. Hey, Annette, how are you? How are you? Miss T said Erica told Lisa as they talk strategy. Lisa told TMZ when they called her personally. Probably. I don't think they dislike Kathy. I think Kyle dislikes Kathy. And as Erica said at that reunion that Lisa Vanderpump did not show up to, Kyle is the queen of Beverly Hills. Hey, Yasmin. Yasmin said, I used to think that Garcelle needs to take it to hell one good time with them too, but I had a change of heart. I think Garcelle's personality actually lands with the core demo of this show. Yeah, I think the core demo of the show likes their Black people like Garcelle. And I'm just being honest, it is not a read on Garcelle. They wouldn't like a Kenya. And that's just the truth. They like Kenya on Atlanta because Kenya gets Black women together. They would not like Kenya on this show because Kenya wouldn't let them talk to her any kind of way. And that's when all of a sudden the Bravo darling of Real Housewives of Atlanta, that is Kenya, who trends every episode, will that's when they'll start calling for her firing. And that's just, the God's honest truth. Hey, Josie. Josie said that's why Brandy launched her down with the pizza in hand. Oh, I need her to come back. I need her to come back. But see, that's the thing. Even with somebody like Brandy, right? Brandy did not benefit from being a Hollywood A-lister, right? Or having connections with Hollywood A-listers. Her husband at the time, or ex, I think. No, husband at the time was Eddie Cibrian, but he wasn't like an A-lister. Right. And they were people who were living in the valley, still living paycheck to paycheck, which is kind of middle class in Hollywood. Right. Even if you're making a lot of money, you have to be making a certain kind of money to be living like an A-lister. And they just weren't making that. So she came in, and although she did not have race being a factor, Brandy's issue was class, and they treated her like her class to them. So that was her issue. And because she did not let them wealthy ladies mistreat her, all of a sudden she's this bad person and everybody's calling for her firing. I thought that she was great on the show. I think that Brandy, when she and Kim started messing with that alcohol and them drugs, it just wasn't a good combination. I needed them to leave for that. But other than that, I love how she stayed on their necks. I loved it. Because she did not let them mistreat her because she's of a different class. No. Hey, Billy, how you doing? They absolutely glossed over it. Absolutely. Zena said they don't like Kathy because she isn't one of them, period. And she doesn't have to play their games. Absolutely. Absolutely. JG said Mo literally thought it was hilarious. But if Garcelle talked to Portia that way, Mo would tell her to distance herself and calling her everything but a child of God. Oh, absolutely. It was funny because it wasn't his child. And they felt that they can talk that way because we have to be real. They were talking about a black child. And they would have been a lot more delicate had the child been of another culture. We got to be real here. You know who you can say things about and who you cannot say things about. You know that. You know that. But they didn't, but what they did not know was that the audience collectively would take that a totally different way and go, not Jax, not Garcelle's baby. Hey, Dahlia. Dahlia said, I was disappointed in Garcelle. I understand the need to keep it classy, but she backed off so quickly. And where is the supposed knockdown fight between her and Dorit? Did they edit that out? I don't think there was ever a knockdown fight. I just think that she got her together in her way. And I think she realizes who she is on this show and what she can and cannot do. Stop the Bus said, this is when POC solidarity starts to become a myth because we got to fight for ourselves and then others. Every time. Every time. Absolutely. That's the desire. We have none. We got to be real. African Americans have no allies. Not a one. Not a one. But everybody wants us to be their muscle. Tracy said Crystal is a POC when it's convenient. Ooh, baby, she would drop that POC title if they would treat her like. Did you mean nice, Tracy? I think you meant nice. I think you meant nice. Child, I was like, not my Tracy, but I think Tracy meant nice. Hey, Faye. Faye said everyone talking about PTSD after Aspen, and Crystal was not allowed to be in her feelings about something Sutton said. Rena talking about being abused by Kathy. C being demonized for not sharing. But Crystal has to realize this, right? We all see it. We all see it. Crystal doesn't see it, or she does see it and doesn't care because she still wants to be in allyship or this group with them, and that has been her desire. And honestly, I don't get disappointed in Crystal anymore. I feel bad for her because remember, guys, when she introduced herself to us, she said as a teen, she wanted to be white. She desired, because her parents raised her in a white community. She went to white schools and she was othered. And she felt like if she could just be white, she could be accepted into the cliques and, hang out with the white girls that she wanted to hang out with. But because she was different, she could not be with them. And I feel like Crystal, at damn near 40, is still living in that. And I think when she finally checks in and gets free of that and gets delivered from that, I think we're going to see a totally different Crystal. But until then, this is what we got. This is what we got. Thank you. Thank you so much. JB says, what's that? Kathy didn't redeem herself for me. I believe Rena like 5%. Maybe. No, I believe the same amount. Because I do think that Rena was listening to Kathy vent. I think she made up a lot of what Kathy said. But I don't think the script that Rena gave us was her script. I think somebody else wrote that script for her. And I think Kathy Hilton knows who. CR said, Erica and Lisa have changed their story so many times and they lack credibility. It's hard to believe anything that they have to say, especially Erica. Snow in Pasadena. Oh, you know what? That's true. That's true. Snow in Pasadena and Tom being in the ditch for hours. Guys, y'all made me have a memory. This comment right here, CR, while reading this, I thought about how I was fighting for my life on that live when I was like, guys, I'm literally 6 miles from Pasadena. 6 miles. There is no way that it snowed in Pasadena. And you guys are like, oh no, she lives far in the mountains. And I'm like, I know where this woman lives. No way was there snow in Pasadena, and I was fighting for my life on that live stream. But when I was vindicated, crickets. Oh, that was a good time. She got 2 kids, D said. I'm really confused as to what Kathy even had to redeem herself about, screaming and cussing about her sister. I've cursed my sister out multiple times. My friends just know how to mind their business. Yes. A real friend will let you vent and not say anything about your sister because they know the family is off limits. Like, a real friend understands that. JB says, what said, I believe that Kathy was nasty to Kyle because the DJ said F your money. Yeah, she was mad about that. Miss T said, Dorit and Kyle laughing and then trying to force apologies. Because they didn't mean it. That's what Garcelle was trying to say. She was just like, they apologized, and in this group, they apologized quickly so you can get over it. They did not mean it. And Garcelle knows that, but she had to move on because they gave the apology on camera. So she can't harp on it again because she is a Black woman. Because the viewers would be like, oh, we understand Garcelle, but she just needs to move on. Right? The core audience will have that response. And Garcelle is smart enough to know how to play this game. But that's why I said we all understood what she meant when she said, I accepted it. We got it. We got it clear. We got it loud and clear. You just got to move on. But I also want to talk about Dorit. Dorit, you are not, like, bereavement is not your ministry. Consoling a person who is in pain is not your ministry. And that's okay. Not everybody has that in them. You don't have it. So I feel like in the future, when anybody in your life that you love is going through something, maybe you don't be the first responder, right? Maybe you're not the first person to come in and talk to them and in your own way, cheer them up. Because when she goes into, first of all, I would not have went into console Kyle after she cussed me out at the reunion. But Dorit goes to console Kyle because Kyle is like, too distraught to have to do a toast because Kathy let her know that she was basically done with her at that moment, right? So Dorit goes in while Kyle is breaking down crying, reassures her that it won't get better with her and Kathy. And I'm like, Dorit, why are you in here? What? You and your sister are going to be in a bad place for a while. Girl, leave. Like, why are you helping? Because you're not helping. And everything that she said to Kyle would just break down more. And I'm like, somebody get her. Somebody get Dorit out of this room because she was not helping the situation at all. And I think just like how Sutton is not really aware of what to say in moments of compassion because she's just so, just blocked off from that because of her trauma. I don't know if Dorit has trauma and that's why she's so blocked off, but I just think that Dorit is just not that person to console someone. She's great with giving somebody a pep talk. She's a good pep talk person. But when somebody is distraught, Dorit should not be the first person to talk to them. She's going to send somebody off the ledge. She's going to send somebody off the ledge. Dorit never worked for a suicide hotline. My God, today. That is not your ministry. Don't volunteer for that, mama. Give some money. But that right there, you are not the one to do it. Absolutely not. JB, I said what I said. I said what I said. Asatu said Erica makes an analogy about the plane en masse, but she did not say that she has to think of her first. She said that no one else matters. Yeah, it was just in poor taste. It was just in poor taste. LS said, Kathy definitely reminded me of 45 when he was confronted and trying to lie about her actions. Rena's comment scream, hostile work environment. I think there was some truth to it. I just don't believe Rena, but I did believe Erica in that moment. And the only reason why I believed Erica was because of Kathy's reaction. Make it make sense. So she could always be a feature performer. Okay. Okay. Not shakers. Not shakers. Dahlia says survivors only care about security. To Erica, Tom represents security, and she's going to ride it out until she believes he's no longer security. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think when she's out of that state, when she's finally comfortable and does not have to continue to hoe, I think maybe then we'll be able to see the compassion. But right now, we're just not going to see that. LSA, get rid of Kathy and Crystal. Bring in Brandy or LVP and Kimora. This is the reason why I don't want Kimora on the show. Y'all think that Cherie disappointed you? Y'all gonna be looking for something in Kimora you won't find. You won't find. Dahlia, this is the only place I don't hoe. Dahlia said, "Oh, I'm definitely hoeing for this check. I can't stay in this job, but they'll never know it. We are all hoes at some point." We are all hoes at some point. Dolly said, "I didn't even notice that analogy until now. It like hit me in my chest. I was like, ow, why would you use that one? Why would you use that one? I ain't never been so low. I had to work at a Wendy's in Philly." I'm so sorry to every and anyone who has worked at a Philadelphia Wendy's. Baby, it ain't never been that bad for me. It ain't never been that bad for me. Oh no. Macy's is as low as I have ever gone. No, I worked at 7-Eleven for 2 days. I worked at 7-Eleven for 2 days and quit. Like, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I think the breaking point for me was when like they had me like clean off the hot dog grill. And I'm over there with a college degree cleaning the hot dog grill. And I was like, nah, I can do better. I can do better. Dahlia said, Elvis Presley is the king of rock. And when's the last time you heard? Who said that? It's always been Little Richard over here. Always. She got 2 kids. D said people low-key be hating Kathy because she's rich, not labels rich. Yeah. So she don't have nothing to hide. And when she said that to Erica, I have more credibility than you. Everybody knew what that meant. Ain't nobody gonna believe you over me, brokey. That's exactly what Kathy was saying to Erica. That's why Rita went, because they know what she was saying. They know what she was saying. Because Kathy was about to spill. Kathy was about to spill about Erica, and then she reached back and she got her little her little water bottle, took a swig and thought about it, put the cap on the water bottle, put it back, and went to something else. But she was about to spill. I was like, oh, Erica, get her again. Because she about to tell your business. And that's when Erica shut up. Kathy was oh yeah, because she was like, yeah, we talk. We've been talking in our circles. We know. And I'm like, oh, what we know? What we know, Kathy. What we know. That's exactly what happened, Onyx. Exactly what happened. I know, Megan. I had to remember. Erica has lied, right? She wasn't lying on Kathy. Hey, Candace. Candace said Erica is absolutely a liar. She may not be lying about this, but she stayed lying last season about Tom. You are right. Hey, Zena. Zena said Kathy's reaction was similar to Sutton's when Crystal said she said something dark. Taken aback white woman. Kathy's reaction was similar to Sutton's when Crystal said that she said something dark. Take it. Okay. Taking it back, white woman. Yes. Yes. But that's the thing. Even with the Sutton thing, we talked about it. Sutton probably said something that she probably shouldn't have. Or I think Sutton don't know what she said. Sutton don't know. Remember, I don't think Sutton remembers because they had a whole conversation. So Sutton is like, I don't know what it is. So I just want to move on, and we're good. We're friends. So that's why I think that Sutton wants to move on so quickly from this whole dark comment with Crystal, because I don't think she knows if she said anything or not. That's the thing. That's what Sutton gives me. If Sutton doesn't give me that she knows she said something, I think that Sutton doesn't know what or remember what she said. And if Crystal ever repeats it, she'll be in trouble. But I think Crystal actually gave her leeway when she just kept on playing cat and mouse about what it could have been. And every time she's confronted, she changes what the comment could have been or how intense it was. And Crystal worked in Sutton's favor, in my opinion, because the Taj was about to turn on Sutton, and Garcelle was number one. She was like, I wanted to know if my friend, it's this white woman, said anything about that was racist or about my people. I needed to know that. But you just kept on holding that in. So Crystal ended up working in Sutton's favor. JG said, notice Kyle had no issue with Renna saying she was abused, but Crystal still can't utter the word violated because they keep her in her place. They like to control her. And Crystal, no shade, you allow it. You allow it. And instead of getting them together, you get mad that they don't treat you, that they don't treat Garcelle the way they treat you. And that's what bothers me about you. That's what bothers me about you. But she forgot that one. Carla, she forgot that she said that she had to lock herself in the room to be protected from Kathy. She forgot that one. And then she just jumps to, she was yelling and abusing me. But I thought you were locked in your room. Like, it just changes so much. You can't believe her. It changes so much. You just cannot believe this woman. Miss T said, Cal just crying. She is just crying. Speaking of Kyle crying, I thought that something was going to pop up here. I was very concerned for her because of all the work. She couldn't properly cry, and there were like veins and stuff that I've never seen on a human forehead, just, popping up. And I was like, oh my gosh, girl, because her body is like trying to get the tears out, and the muscles that normally help the tears form and come out are frozen. So she's like, ah! And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's going to explode, girl. Talia said, Lisa Rinna is dangerous. This woman can and will lie about anything. She reminds me, oh, that's a great comparison. That's a great comparison. She reminds me of Mia Thornton. She's the kind of person who will get a man, child. Mia, and this is for another live, but Mia and Giselle, y'all stepped into something. I don't think this is going to go well for you guys, especially if this is the storyline you're doing, because the way Mia has been apologizing on Twitter, I'm like, oh, this is going to get dark. This is going to get messy. And y'all doing this about a white man that people like? Ciao. Yasmin said, I really don't care about whatever Kathy said about Kyle. LOL. I think it's the dumbest thing ever. But I do believe she said those things about Kyle. I do believe she said that beast sister of mine did not have my back, and she should have. This is what Kim was telling me. I think that's what she was saying. The whole, I'm going to destroy Kyle and her whole family. Portia too? Like, that don't make sense to me. That don't make sense to me. But her calling the DJ a homophobic slur because he ain't want to play Michael Jackson, I think that happened. Zena said, Kyle let Lisa Rinna say that Kathy is abusive because Kyle thinks that Kathy is abusive. Remember, she said, I'm an adult. You can't speak to me that way. Yes, I think that Kyle pulled her friends and to handle a sibling situation. Because remember, Kathy is the oldest. So what younger sibling doesn't go back and forth with the oldest? Like, I'm an adult. I still gotta tell it to my older sister. I'm an adult. My little sister still says that to me. Like, that's very obvious. But to bring other people who have no relation to your sister, their only relation to your sister is you, who they are friends with, and they only hear because you're always venting to them the terrible things that your sister has done to you, or don't really know that you're exaggerating and putting 20 on 10 because you constantly victimize yourself, even in situations that you have created or situations where you are gravely wrong. You victimize yourself and you're telling your version. So these women are being introduced to your sister, but they're already locked and loaded that she's an awful person. So when they react to her that way, you don't say anything because you've said some stuff about her to fuel this, right? You sat there in conversations with them and gave them gems before the show started filming because you know how messy they are and you know that will make it back to the show. That's why when they're cussing your sister out in front of you and everybody is looking at you crazy and you're not saying anything, that's why you're silent. Because if you talk, them demonic heifers that you call besties are going to flip on you, because that's the relationship that they all have. I'm telling you, I honestly believe this. I don't know what it is, but there is something nefarious keeping this group together. It is not friendship. They thick as thieves. They not thick as friends and besties. It's something that they have all done together that keeps them as friends, because their friendship is based on protecting each other and acting oblivious to the terrible things that they do in favor of this group. That is not a friendship. That is not a friendship. Something is up. Something is up. Let me get some new. Oh, child, we in here talking. Let me get some newer comments. I'm so sorry. Because this thing normally just updates on its own. I have to do it. Make it make sense. Thank you for another super chat. Make it make sense. Said, why didn't Dorit kiss Kyle shoulder? Okay. Messy. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. She would have a great storyline, but I think people will want her to come on a certain way. And I'm telling you right now, Kimora won't come on like the way Kimora will come on and be Diana. And y'all will be so disappointed. So no. Hey, Bombshell Blurb. The Bombshell Blurb said, of course, consolation isn't Dorit's ministry. She is pushing it. Kathy said, oh, I love them. Homeless and toothless. Yeah, it's just not her thing. It's not her thing. Hey, Dayla. Dayla said the fact that Kyle got on Dorit for trying to tell her to own her part with Kathy childish, show Kyle is the mastermind. Yeah. She's like, shut up. You're making sense. Hey, Nadi. Nadi said, so unlike what Diana said, Kathy does know how to play the game of giving money to get something. She been doing that. That's why she was upset with that DJ, because she couldn't move him. She couldn't move him with her coin. Hey, Kia Bell Sparks said, so one question. If Rinna was so scared, why didn't she call Andy or production? Was Erica going to save her? Let me tell you something. These ladies all have iPhones, especially Rinna. Rinna be on that iPhone day in, day out, posting whatever, sharing clips of this. She put that iPhone and just dance awkwardly to some music. You mean to tell me when you were locked in your room that had all of your possessions, you couldn't turn that iPhone and film Kathy beating down the door trying to abuse you? Get out of here. It doesn't make sense, especially not from you. It doesn't make sense. Hey, Miss Gigi, Rinna put 20 on 10. Kathy said some of that stuff, but they definitely exaggerated. I believe you. How do you think someone is having a psychotic break that you never called? I forgot about that. Now she's having a psychotic break. Rinna, it's too much. It's too much. If it was simple, we probably would have believed you. But you just can't. You keep on making this so much bigger than the last time you told us. Now Kathy is having a psychotic break. Girl, bye. You lost me at, I can't hold this in about Kathy. If I do, I'll get cancer. That's where you lost me. Well, you never really had me, but then I was checked out with you for good. for good. Okay, Tracy. Girl, because I was like, what's going on here? Thank you for the clarity. I know that's not you, but I was like, what? Okay, thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you. This is terrible, right? It's absolutely terrible. I'm just speaking in reality TV. It would be, listen up, Andy Lanithia Cohen. It would be iconic television. This show would break records. That Bravo ratings Twitter page would go nuts if we get a season where the brides of Chucky implode. If we get a season and Rena is just, she hops on and she's just like, well, since this is my last check, let the chopper sing. She is so petty that I think she will do it. And for the right check, she will do it big. It will be iconic TV if that little clan of them Coles Cash Karens, if they implode, child, and have the heifers that they got off the show come back as friends of the show. You think we was locked in every Thursday? Baby. I will say I'm glad this show is over. And I hate to say it, but I feel like that's how a lot of people who have been watching this season feel. I think a lot of people are ready for this darkness to be done so we can start watching some more enjoyable television. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate because I don't think this show will do as well with seasons like this continuing. So they absolutely have to fix something. But if they bring everybody back, it needs to be an implosion season of The Brides of Chucky. If not, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to hold because people are going to check out eventually. People are saying now that they don't want to watch the show because of Lisa Rinna. You still watch. This is what happens with a reality TV people. You get a routine, right? This is what you do on Thursday night or Wednesday nights. This is the routine that you do. And you just clock in because at this point you built some kind of community. If you're talking about it on social media, you have your pages that you follow on Instagram. You have your pages that you follow on YouTube. You have your pages that you follow on Twitter. And you built some sort of community. So it becomes a routine. But if what you are all collectively coming together to consume is making everybody sick, you going to check out of this hospital. You know what I mean? And go find somewhere else to give you the medicine that this show used to give you before, right? The joy, the fun, the comedy. That's what happens to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nobody was doing their numbers, guys. Nobody was doing their numbers. Then the show wasn't fun anymore. And people stopped watching. And that's why they're still struggling, not in the ratings, but struggling to get the ratings that they used to get easily back in the day. And I think that BH, their days are numbered. Their days are numbered. That's exactly what she meant, Virgo. Thank you. Simply Simone said, makes sense now why Erica apologized at BravoCon ahead of the episode because they knew the backlash was coming. Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, mixed don't mean nothing. Ask Meghan Markle. That woman was able to live her life, not saying that she wanted to pass, but when you look at Meghan Markle, you don't see me, right? You don't see me. So she was able, and she talked about on her podcast, that she was able to live her life as a mixed woman. I think her saying mixed is a lot better than saying a white passing woman, but that was her reality. You know what I mean? I don't think that Meghan Markle would have chemically pressed her edges if she did not know that life was easier as a white woman, right? Let's be real. You know what I mean? Like we the throwback pictures of Meghan Markle with that curly hair, she wasn't fooling nobody. But with a straight press, with a straight press back, you know, you could you know what I mean? Like she could get past some of us. Not the older ones, but she could get past a few of us, right? She got past me. So it can happen. But when she decided that she was going to snag her a prince, she became a black woman. She became a black woman. And she does talk about it on her podcast. She said, I never had the black experience until I started dating Harry. So that's what it was. It's just like, you know, Garcelle's kids are probably able to walk through life as, you know, not really sure, right? Until you get visibility and privilege that another community thinks that is only owed to them. So that's what happens. That's what happens. Teresa said, just like that LA council member, people don't think, oh, come on. Can I tell y'all? It's one thing to read about what's happening in LA. It's another thing to live here. Baby, it's tight. It's tight in LA right now. I need that man to just resign. It's tight. It ain't loving light like it used to be. Morgan said, I want more housewives like Kathy that can gather the girls and has big money. Yeah, that's the thing. The big money for these ladies is this show. So they're going to say and do whatever they need to do to remain on the show. But when you got money like Kathy, because Homegirl was just like, I'm not coming back to this show. She was like, not if they're on there. Absolutely not. And it's all up to Bravo and NBC to decide if Kathy is a bigger draw or if Lisa Rinna is a bigger draw. And that's what I said on my BravoCon Live. I'm not sure because the fan reaction that she got, whether it was booing or clapping or hissing or calling her all kinds of hoes, whatever it was, she got a huge reaction. And to Bravo, that just sounds like money. It just sounds like a new check hitting their account. You know what I mean? It just sounds like advertisers to them. So I don't know. Let me get two more and then let me get out of here. She got 2 kids. D said exactly. Either you're not good enough for these ladies, Brandy, or you're too good, LVP, and they want you gone. Yeah. LVP didn't see that coming. She did not see that coming. Wait, is that new? I got that. Oh, that would have broke Kyle. Kyle would have lost it at that point. She would have left. She would have left the stage if she would have said that. But I'm telling you, I know that Kathy and Kim's group chat or chat is something else. It's something else. Baby, I know Kathy be in that garden on the phone with Kim, just getting Kyle together. I told you, Kathy. I know Kim. But it seems like she wants to come back, but she doesn't want to come back with Erica and Rinna. So we'll see. We will see. Yes, thank you for bringing that up, Asatu. Asatu said, did you catch Lisa saying so when Andy was calling her on ranting on people? That woman. Listen. This is another reason why Lisa is incredible. Because when Andy said to her, you are saying that Kathy is abusive or Kathy was abusing you because she was screaming and yelling. But you screamed and yelled at people, and Lisa went, so? Like, just letting us all know what we've been saying from the jump. It only matters when it's done to you. Anything that you do to anybody else, there's a huge excuse. You use every and anything. But if somebody matches your energy, all of a sudden you're a victim. That's that. But that whole group operates like that. Because if anybody screams at Erica the way Erica has been screaming at everybody on the show, Erica becomes a victim. And that's not fair to say that to me. Because when Sutton matched her energy, all of a sudden Sutton was this bad person. Why? Because she didn't let you cuss her out and disrespect her? Because she stood up for herself? But as soon as you match the Brides of Chucky's energy, all of a sudden You are abusing them. You are bullying them. You are tearing them down when they're going through so much. You're not being sympathetic. Really? But you have done that to other people. But for all of them, it's okay for me to do it. It's not okay for you to do that to me. That is the consensus of that group. That's what it is. It's exactly what it is. Asatu, thank you so much for the super chat. Asatu said, I would rather watch SVU than rent a next season. Oh, only if they implode. If it's an imploding season, baby. Nadi said, does anyone watch Basketball Wives? LOL, because I think it's about to happen to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills if Lisa keeps this BS up. You know what? Listen. They put the Real Housewives of New York on pause for less. Missy said, what's her name? Eden, who Renna was talking about Kim too, so she can make an appearance too. Oh yeah, Eden. I forgot about Eden. They played on that woman's mental health so poorly. I felt so bad for her. I was glad that she left the show because it was obvious that she was not okay. But they like, oh my God, they were so awful. Like she opened up about her mental health struggles and they clocked in. They were like, okay, thank you for letting us know your weakness. We are going to abuse you every time now. Poor thing. I felt so bad for Eden. If this is a takedown season, bring everybody that they got off the show. Bring them in. Camille is waiting. Camille Kramer is waiting. She right outside the Bravo offices right now. Like, just put me in, coach. Just put me in. I'm ready. JG said, I thought of you this weekend when I saw many housewife Twitter pages claiming to be mixed. What do you think of me? Oh, no. Ooh, me too, Teresa. And the thing was, it was one episode and she had a ponytail in, but the edges were crinkling up a bit. And I was like, oh. That's when I started doing some research. And one of my really good friends who worked with her on another show was like, oh yeah, she's mixed. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I was like, baby. I will say this. I still love me some Megan though. So that's still my girl. So we're not gonna drag her too much. Not too much on Princess Megan from the House of Crystal. Not too much. Hey, Onyx. Onyx said Andy let so many things slide and didn't ask so many pertinent questions and follow-up questions. We need a new host. Oh, that's not gonna happen. That's his baby. He's not going nowhere. Hey, La Patina Life, what's up? Said Kyle was all about her friends and the show. She never defends her sister. She needs to go. Lisa is such old news and trashy at this point. Needs to go. Yeah, but she gets a huge reaction. From the fan base. Lisa Rinna has essentially become the Meghan McCain of Housewives, right? Because although all those viewers did not like Meghan McCain, they tuned in every episode to watch Joy or Whoopi get her together. Like she's the Meghan McCain of the show. And at this point, if she gets kicked off the show, if she gets put on pause, I'm telling you, she's going to go full MAGA or MAGA. What do you call them people? The MAGA, right? I don't know. The evil dum-dums. She's going to do that, right? Because that's what grifters do, right? Well, she could no longer grift this bully and this, housewives bag for much longer. That's where grifters go to die. So she's absolutely going to go full MAGA. Absolutely. And if there's any indication of where she's going to end up, woke Twitter, woke Stan. Remember woke Stan? And we all found out it was her. That's what she's on her way. She is on her way. You know what? Where's the UK people? UK people, help me out. Because some people, and a few of you said this too, said every time I see Victoria Beckham, I see the same. I think It's the nose. There is a specific nose that only white people in the UK have. I'm telling you, whenever I see, and it's the Victoria Beckham nose. It's like Florence Pugh got that too. Every time I see that nose on a white person, I'm like, you're from the UK. You're from the UK. This right here, like this in the top lip. But it's specifically that I've never seen it on anybody else. I've never seen it on anybody else, but white people from the UK got that Victoria Beckham nose. I don't know what it is. I don't know what bloodline they're from, but that nose, that one little gene, whatever that is, that feature from that bloodline is strong, because I always know that person is from the UK. What is that? What is Victoria Beckham's bloodline? What is that family? Because it is very specific to the Caucasus. Are they Caucasian? The whites of the UK. What is that nose? You know what? Shout out to anybody just tuning in. I'm telling you, this will all make sense if you watch from the beginning. Asatu said, are we talking on that racist lady saying she was 30%? Who the hell is that? Who's the racist lady that said she was 30% black? Let's be real. The reason why them people hate Megan is because of her black mama. To see that woman with the royal family, they was like, absolutely not. It should have been me. If they put her on the show and it's all villains, that's when I'm going to go up to Bravo myself and say, you need to put Girls Trip on the actual network and not Peacock. The viewers can't get this last. They don't appreciate this after they get it from Peacock. It needs to start there and then go to Peacock. Like they need to do Girls Trip how they do the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills shows, or like all the housewife shows, right? Or any of the Bravo shows, the reality shows. You watch them on Monday. By Tuesday morning, that episode that you watch on the network is on Peacock. That's what needs to happen with Girls Trip. We watch it on the network channel, Bravo, on Monday, and then Tuesday morning, you have it on Peacock. Why are you switching around the formula? This show goes to Peacock to die, and it's so good. It's so good. Oh, I don't, oh my goodness. That is not what that is called. I am not clicking on that, Miss T. I am not clicking on that. I hate that it's so descriptive, though. RA said, "Yeah, I'm from the UK. It's the Anglo-Saxon feature. So that's how you know that's a pure white." God, I gotta find different language. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. That's how you know that bloodline just stayed within that blood. You know what I mean? Oh, no, I'm done. But I'm telling you, it's this. The Victoria Beckham nose, so many white people in the UK have it. And I'm like, yep, I know where you're from. I know where you are from. Just if I ever see a white person and they have, it's like right here. And the reason why I'm stopping at the edges, because that's a dead giveaway. Whenever I see a white person right here, they have like a similar eyes, similar eyebrows, and right here, the edges. The edges are a little blonde and a little curly. I'm like, you from Louisiana, ain't you? I always know a white person from Louisiana by the eyes, the eyebrows, and the little curly, little blonde curlies right here. I'm like, you from Louisiana. I've never been wrong. I have never been wrong. It's a very specific look. Same way that I can tell of how a black girl from the UK, it's not a feature, it's the wigs. Them UK girls know how to lay down some lace. I'm like, you from the UK, ain't you, sister? Ain't no American land a lace wig like that. Ain't no American laying lace like them UK sisters. She got 2 kids. D said, let me tell you something. Lisa ain't gonna make it with Nene. Oh, or real when you say villain who, yeah. It would be iconic TV though. Iconic. Iconic. Thank you guys so much. Tracy says, shout out to the NikkiStar replay gang. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and share the channel to your social media. Oh my God. I love these lives because we start one place. Where we end up, Lord knows. Only Lord knows. Only the Lord knows. Oh my goodness. I love you guys. I had a great time. I actually have to get out of here next week. So you know what? Let me just give you my schedule. So y'all know I'm back in LA and I'm performing and stuff or whatever out here. So for the next 2 weeks, I will be able to do multiple lives. But tomorrow, I'm going to see if I can do 2. They might be spread out throughout the day. I'm not sure. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to get in 2 lives. I'm not sure if I can, but next week I'll be back. I'll be a bit more open. So I'll be back to doing 2 lives. They probably won't be back to back, but they will be somewhere throughout the day. But for those 2 weeks, I got a bit more time and I could play a little bit more. But then when we get into the second week in November, I'm ghost again. But I'm going to try to stay as consistent as I can. Now I kind of know how my schedule is going to go moving forward for the next few months. Thank you all for bearing with me. Thank you for still rocking with me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and, you know, just keeping up with me when I'm not here. I don't know. I'm trying. I'm trying to like keep up here because I don't want you guys to think that this is not important to me. You guys are so important to me. But, you know, at the same time, you know, the girls' things that I've wanted to happen is finally starting to happen. So I have to focus on that. And I did not think, let me tell you something. We'll just shout out to my Love at the Lockup people. Remember the Love at the Lockup challenge? I'm gonna try to do another one probably in the new year. But remember I was on that live and I was just like, when this show was over, at the end of the show, I better be in a different place. Girl, words have power. I'm in a different place. I was talking about my fitness. You know what I mean? My dating life. I didn't know where I'm at. I wasn't even thinking about that. But I am in a much different place. God is good. But listen, words have power. Make sure you're speaking the right stuff, right? Speak positivity. Speak what you want to happen. Because I'm a living witness. Words have power. By the end of that show, was I in a different place? Girl, speak it into existence. But next week I should be a little bit better for about 2 weeks. And then I'm going to have to, get out of here again. But we will stay as consistent as we can. Bear with me. I love you all so much. I had a great time. I absolutely stayed longer than I intended, but I've missed you. I've missed you. We had fun. My cheeks are always hurting. Oh, somebody said check your Cash App. Check your Cash App. Oh, see, because I turned everything off. I can't hear anything. I got to silence my group chats. Thank you, Missy. Missy gave your girl a Cash App and she said for the Star Fan meetup at Philadelphia Wendy's. Never. It's never going to happen. Let me tell you something. If I end up doing a Wendy's commercial, forget everything that I said. Forget everything that I said. Them national commercials, they pay big. Thank you so much, Shonda. Thank you so much, family. Thank you all for being understanding. I love you guys. Listen, make sure you follow me at my other channel, which is NikkiStar at Home. I'm absolutely taking you guys on that journey with me over there. So you'll see everything. You guys will see everything over there that I'm doing. Where is it? Did I delete it? Here it is. This is my other channel, NikkiStar at Home. I'll post about more what I'm doing there, more stuff that I can talk about eventually. But yeah, that's the life. That's what's going on. And I'm in a different place. I thought it was going to be like 20 pounds lighter. I didn't think this, but God is good. God is good. Bye, Socrates. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you all so much. Bonjour. Bonjour. God is good. And all the time. Love y'all. I'll see you soon for something else. Please make sure you like the channel before you get out of here. Yeah, I love you. I'll see you soon tomorrow with a special treat. Bye. Happy spooky season. Should I do? I might do something on Halloween because I'm not going anywhere, but we might do a spooky season live. Why not? Why not? Love y'all. Bye. But